This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted to be joined by up-and-coming heavyweight prospect Johnny Fisher over Zoom. Johnny, first and foremost, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Andy. Just enjoying all my time training and learning off all the people I'm sparring and Mark and Steve Andrews. So I'm really enjoying my time just training as a professional boxer.
We'll obviously kind of come on to that in a little while, but as we briefly touched on before starting this interview, a big fight last night that I know you was a hand in the preparations for with regards to Joyce. Joe with a 10th round stoppage victory against Daniel Dubois. Johnny, from your side and your perspective, what was your thoughts on the fight?
As soon as I woke up today, I was not anxious or nervous, but just really excited for Joe to see what he can do and to show everyone what we've been working on. And when I watched the fight, obviously you're nervous and you want Joe to do well all throughout it. But I watched it back, and the double jabs that were landing, just pinging so accurate, and I felt them. They're very heavy jabs, and for Joe just to execute the plan so well, I'm just really pleased for him. And he didn't look out of control of the fight the whole way through. And for one of the judges to have Daniel Dubois up by 8 rounds seems like a disgrace to me. Don't get me wrong; I thought it was close. I thought Joe was up by a couple, but I thought it was a close, evenly fought fight. But Joe was getting even more in control of it, and then in the 10th round we saw what happened.
What was the most impressive thing from your side with regards to Joe's performance, Johnny?
Because we all, for me, we all associate Joe with coming forward, being the juggernaut, being able to destroy people. But I think in this fight, showed why he's an Olympic finalist, and in my opinion, won the gold medal. He can box as well, in and out, not an amateur style, but he can stay on that outside, and he can keep moving to the right hand side, and he can ping that double jab off with great accuracy. And that's what people don't understand about Joe's jab. He reads his opponent and knows exactly when to throw it, and it lands very heavy. 18.5 stone man lands a jab on you. It's going to take his toll, and that was the most impressive thing for me. He didn't just revert to his juggernaut style. He showed why he's such a class and decorated amateur boxer as well at the same time.
Johnny, you've shared the ring with Joe in sparring, as I say, especially in the build-up to this bout. Did everything go to plan? What was the plan, and what were you guys working on when you were sparring?
For me, but I'm not savvy completely with what the plan was. Steve and Ishmael Salas will relay that all to Joe and what he wanted to do. But I think the plan, getting away from the big right hand, Joe kept moving round to the side onto the right hand side, and if I ever rushed in at him in sparring, because when I first started sparring Joe, I'd like to rush him a little bit and try and rush in and get my big 1-2s off. And what Joe was doing, and what I realised as well, was as the weeks have gone on when I was sparring, he was just moving off and not engaging. And I think the way he stepped away and absorbed that power from Dubois, we've been working on in the gym with me. When I try and rush him sometimes with a big 1-2, it just takes all the sting out of it, and it makes you look a bit stupid sometimes. So when we're sparring, that could happen as well. And then what that's done for me is I've learned that, and now I've improved so much from sparring Joe. So I can only thank him so much, because we're both learning off each other, really. And it's brilliant for me to be in with the ring and learning off a guy like that.
We've seen some people over social media saying they felt Daniel Dubois quit. Your thoughts on that, Johnny?
I don't know, and I don't like to badmouth people who get in the ring, because anyone who gets in that ring, they deserve the highest praise ever, because he's fighting, putting everything on the line in a heavyweight bout. But for me, if I was in there and I felt something bad on my hand, I wouldn't take a knee and sit down and wait for the count. I thought Daniel was waiting 5-6 seconds to have a little break. He'd been frazzled or something. I thought, right, I'm going to recollect my thoughts. But I don't know why he counted himself out. I'd rather go out on my shield and really go for it. But whatever happens, Daniel can come back. I think he's only young. He's 23 years old. He's got it all ahead of him. But I just thought it was a bit strange how he went down and counted himself out. I wouldn't say he quit, because I'd never say anyone. I never want to put that on anyone. But it didn't look good.
And then with Joe, what do you see as being the next step for him, Johnny? Immediately after the fight, he called out Alexander Usyk.
Yep.
A fight you'd be interested in seeing?
Oh yeah, brilliant fight. I remember watching the one in the WSB between him and Usyk, and that was a barnstormer of a fight. So I think if we can get something similar, and Joe's a different fighter now to what he was then. He's bigger, he's stronger, and he's got that wealth of experience of them professional fights behind him. So Usyk's a great world-class fighter. Joe can make a few different fights. If the Joshua and after Joshua Pulev, he's up for the WBO belt. It'll be a mandatory now for that. So there's fights to be made all over the place. It's up to him. He can take the time. He's the man in the driving seat now.
Johnny, moving back to yourself, talk to me about these past few months since we last spoke. How have you found kind of training as a professional?
Oh, I'm loving it every second of it. I've been out in Fuerteventura with Mark Tibbs and Billy Joe Saunders and all the other Tibbs boys, Steve Andrews, Jane Dawley, RVO and Charlie Duffield. We've all been out there training really hard. And now we're back in a routine a bit in Raynham, in Essex, in the Origin. And it's just great to live your life as a professional boxer. All you're doing is training, recovering, eating, and sleeping, and that's the dream, isn't it? Don't have to get up for work 9 to 5. You just got to give everything in that gym, and that's what I've been doing, and I'm loving every second of it.
Johnny, have you got any indication as to when you will be out? Have you got some data or anything in mind?
So I've got what it was. I was meant to be fighting either on the Billy Joe card or Anthony Joshua card. That was the plan. But my board of control meeting is not until the 7th of December. So what that basically means is I can't fight within a week period of having that interview done. So I'm going to miss both of them dates, which is quite annoying. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to be fighting in January. So in a way, if I look at it from a sort of a sensible point of view, it gives me more time. It gives me probably more coverage on another show, and just more time with Mark and learning with my trainers. And I'm just looking forward to getting out there. And now I've got a set date. I know where I'm going to be getting out. It's looking good.
You mentioned you got Billy Joe in the camp as well, Johnny. What's it been like to have somebody like Billy Joe to be in and around him?
Oh, to be a world champion of his class is just brilliant to watch. Even when he's sparring and I'm warming up or he's on the bag, I just like to watch how he interacts with Mark and what they do and his little movements and things. But he's a really, really nice, funny man as well. Like he's always mischief happening in the camps and stuff like that. So he's a great man to have a camp with, because you've got a 2-weight world champion, world class boxer, but you've also got a good, funny man who we get on with really well.
What are we expecting, or what should we expect rather to see from his bout with Martin Murray on December the 4th?
When I'm watching him spar, it just looks super, super sharp, and his punch variety is fantastic, and you're going to see great footwork and uppercuts flying in. I've seen some vicious uppercuts. Even James Hawley been sparring, and Charlie Duffield, and there's some really seriously good rounds in there, and it was a privilege to watch, really, because everyone done superbly well. But I can tell you, Billy Joe has been prepared excellently for this fight. He's peaking just at the right time. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. I think it's going to be a stoppage win for Billy Joe. No disrespect to Martin Murray. I think he's a great world-class operator as well. He's a good fighter. But I think Billy Joe's just at a different level to most people out there in a minute.
Right, Johnny, I'll leave it there now. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. But I'll leave a final word to yourself for everybody who's going to tune in. What would you like to say to them?
Thanks a lot, Andy. Yeah, I'm really happy with how my career's going, and well done to Joe Joyce. It's his weekend, and all the hard work he's done, I'm going to dedicate it to him. He's really done it. Sam Jones, SJM Boxing, what a weekend.
Johnny, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you. I'll stay in touch and I'll catch up with you again soon. Thank you for your time as always, and thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thanks a lot, mate. I'll see you soon. Have a good day.